bottles. They're like gift. If you want to gift anybody, you can have a water bottle, and we are giving it at 2,000 shillings. Again, we have the t-shirt, Dandelion t-shirts. You can have it at 700 shillings. We also have the kikoi. I can show you. So you can see here we have the kikoi with the patches of different kitenges, the different colors of kitenge. These are part of the kitenge that have remained, and because they have remained, instead of throwing them away, the Women Empowerment Program, or women in the group, what they do is that they took those kitenges and try to connect them and make this kikoi. Somebody can have it during cold times. You can wear it, and it goes for 4,000 shillings. Then here we have a traditional milk storage, mursik, where you can store your mursik here. And these are made with women in Dandelion, Africa, and it is 1,000 shillings. Again, we have notebooks. This is a notebook. This notebook has been covered with a kitenge somehow and a jeans. These are clothes which they are worn out, like you cannot wear anymore. What we do with those clothes is that we bring them, then we try to be innovative to make them something, because when we throw things like that, even our environment is in the risk. So what we do, we try to fix things like this, and then we have this beautiful notebook covered with this, and then you become unique from others. I think even somebody could have it in this table. Your neighbor could ask, what is that? Are you carrying something like a phone or what? So this one goes for 500 shillings. We have the other one for 300 shillings and for 1,000 shillings outside there. Again, we have honey. This is from Baringo. We have honey. We have branded honey. These are our women who harvest honey from their homes. Then we take the honey, we brand it. We provide the can and the brand for women, and then if we have any visitors around or anyone willing to take the honey, we are selling it. So a quarter kg goes for 250, half kg for 500, and 1 kg for 1,000 shillings. Pia ziko pale nje. So this one is for 250. And then here we have the bag. It's like a carrier bag. This one is a kitenge made from women. So we have women who can make this. And then it is branded Dandelion Africa. Whenever you're going to do a shopping, you can carry it. You're having a laptop, you're having a lot of books, you can use this. We have a lot of things outside there. If you'll have time, you'll come and see. We have tables. We have some seats, which are very innovative, made of tires and woods also. And as I'm finishing, what we do, when you're buying anything from us, you're supporting a girl child in school. There's not only girls, even boys, because we have Boys for Change. So when they are in school, in their lack of school fees, we are providing that scholarship. And it is through this that we can pay their school fees. It is through this that a girl can get a sanitary towel. It is through this a girl they can have water at their home, because if you are buying this, we can provide a tank for a family which is in need of that tank because of the fairness of water. So whenever you are buying anything from Dandelion, it is not for the benefit of Dandelion Africa, it's for the benefit of the community. So we are not there because of ourselves, but because of the community. So I think that is brief about what we have outside there, and brief about Dandelion. Dandelion, now we are working with 5,000 boys and men since Dandelion started, and we have 15,000 girls who are working with. So we have come a long way, and we are the support of the community and some people, we are really going to do something great. So I'm welcoming you to our tent outside there. You can come and ask any question. We are here until the end of the innovation or innovative week. So if you have any question, anything, you can come, interact with us, know more about Dandelion. If you want.
All right, thank you. CEO or Chief Executive Officer of Skyline Sacco, Mr. Alan Mitei. Karibu sana Kabarak. Let's learn something about Skyline as part of our community in Kabarak.
Observed, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I believe this is Society Limited, whose physical network is mainly in 6 counties. But through technology and innovation, as we are doing today, we are able to serve members in every part of the country and including the diaspora. It is a privilege to be part of this year's Innovation Week, dubbed commercialization of research and innovation output, and to be able to make my contribution. First, I want to appreciate the host, that is the organizers, the partners, and all the stakeholders for setting up the Central Rift Innovation Week, and fully acknowledge the impact of this event to the nation, the region, and the local community in terms of capacity building, opportunities to participate and showcase creativity and innovation, and to benefit from the output of such research and innovation. So currently we are living in a republic of technology. I believe we all appreciate that. So I will juggle you on issues to do with theory kidogo. So Daniel J. Boorstin, author of the monumental trilogy, The Americans, characterized our age as driven by the Republic of Technology, whose supreme law is convergence, the tendency for everything to become more like everything else. I think we all appreciate that if we are given, assuming a capital of 100,000, tentatively, we can think like our forefathers and our other communities, or whatever our brothers and sisters are doing. we cannot think differently. Most of us will think of opening a kiosk, buying a matatu, and maintaining the normalcy. So, in businesses, this trend has pushed markets towards global commonality. Corporations sell standardized products in the same way everywhere. Those are autos, steel, chemicals, petroleum, cement, agricultural commodities and equipments. Industrial and commercial construction, banking and insurance services, computer, semiconductors, transport businesses, electronic instruments, pharmaceuticals, and telecommunication, to mention some of the few businesses. According to Harvard Business Review, there is powerful force that drives the world towards a converging commonality, and that force is technology. I think we all appreciate that. It has eased and popularized communication, finance, businesses, transport, and travel, among others. It has made isolated places and impoverished peoples eager for modernity and allurements. Almost everyone, everywhere, wants all the things they have heard about, seen, or experienced by the new technologies. We want to see the bank of our phones. We want to see all the apps in our phones, among others. So we should appreciate the level we have gone with technology. The result is a new commercial reality. The emergence of global markets for standardized consumer products on a previously unimagined scale of magnitude. Corporations geared to this new reality benefit from enormous economies of scale in production, distribution, marketing, and management. By translating these benefits into reduced world prices, they can disseminate competitors that still live in the disabling grip of all assumptions about how the world works. To grow wealth, we need to establish, know, and actualize being the most efficient models and consistent management. By so doing, we bridge the gap between economic growth by institutions and individuals. The gray areas are worth research and developing innovative models that form platforms for stimulating economic growth. I think we should all appreciate that the difference between you and someone else is how you think and know and actualize what you have thought of. That is the big difference. In fact, that is a gap in our economies. And Kenya is becoming a global hub on fintech innovations. The country has seen skyrocketing mobile penetration rates, with subscriptions surpassing the total population amount by 12%. And fintech innovations have followed. For example, the 2007 with its M-Pesa. For example, telecommunication agent Safaricom, which contributes 5% of the country's GDP, led the push in 2007 in its M-Pesa money transfer services, which functions much like a limited mobile bank, but without the need for an internet connection. M-Pesa combines Safaricom's mobile infrastructure with an agent model. Safaricom stores their balance and consumers can go to one of 110,000 agents throughout the country to conduct transactions in person. The whole system runs on technology similar to text messaging and has expanded to more than 7 countries. The companies have firstly expanded financial inclusion in the country. While financial inclusion in Kenya was at just 26% in 2006, today more than 83% of the population has access to at least basic financial services. Besides simply becoming exports. These innovations have become models for other African countries. Women, the rural poor, we call it. I think the Dandelions has really come up with that. And the displaced are especially benefiting by the use of fintech as their gateway towards empowerment. So I believe the Dandelion guys will do a lot on technology, especially in marketing and outreach to so many consumers. So the cooperative movement has been an effective engine for development in Kenya. It cuts across almost all sectors of the Kenyan economy, both formal and informal. It is estimated that 63% of Kenyans' population participate directly or indirectly in cooperative-based enterprises. It is also estimated that cooperatives contribute 46% of the total gross domestic product, that is GDP, by 35% It is also estimated that cooperatives contribute 46% of the GDP, 35% of gross national savings, and employs directly about 500,000 people. Just imagine that in the cooperative sector. So the 500 people depends on cooperatives. According to the economic survey, there are over 18,573 registered cooperatives spread across all the sectors in Kenya. The financial cooperatives, that is SACCOs, under SASRA regulations, we have 177 deposit-taking cooperatives. That is had approximately 3.1 million active members. Just imagine. So it's up to us to position ourselves. Ask yourself this question. Among the 3.1 million members, are you one of the members? Because this is the place to be. So these people have mobilized over 272 billion Kenya shillings, equivalent to $2.6 billion in savings, and carried loans of 288 billion Kenya shillings, or $2.79 billion. This growth in the sector have been contributed much from innovations and creativity, because especially the 177 deposit-taking SACCOs. Among them is Skyline SACCO, where I am the leader. I've mobilized these funds through technology, most of them. In fact, 60% of the drawings are through the technology. And members are not able even are not visiting our offices. You can imagine. Yeah, from that far distance of Kitale, Trans Nzoia, they're able to do the deposits and borrow loans without actually visiting our offices. As a cooperator in the SACCO sector, SACCOs are playing a key role in offering digital services and even controlling a good share in the economy. Instant payment systems offers continuous real-time availability, allowing for transactions between providers to be completed within seconds at any time of the day or night. According to Financial Sector Stability Report 2018 by Central Bank, SACCOs were playing a vital role in achievement of Kenya's Vision 2030 and the Big Four agenda, and furthermore, they were playing a key role in helping government extend financial services to previously underserved populations. A quick scan of the business external environment in regards to financial industry exposes the challenges and the gaps that need interventions and output from such forums of research and innovations. The financial industry is held accountable by their government. What and how they offer services is determined by politics and current government laws. Additionally, these institutions are at the whim of the economy. Inflation rates can devastate banking and SACCOs money with readily available apps and outline services. For many daily transactions, it isn't spent from driving to and from financial institutions. Legally, bank SACCOs regard consumer laws, trade agreements, and privacy laws. So they also must have top-notch cybersecurity with the growing use of technology with banking transactions. In conclusion, therefore, I want to submit to this forum that there is a huge need for more research and innovation outputs to meet the increasing need, especially for us in the financial sector, in areas of fraud detection and management, online banking and consumer service and experience. Generally, the contribution of financial technology in increasing society's financial inclusion in the current industrial era is of paramount need. Finally, on behalf of Skyline SACCO Society Limited, Fraternity, and on behalf of myself, I wish to congratulate all exhibitors, researchers, and innovators for their efforts and input and aspirations in changing the world, and wish them all the best in their future endeavors. We promise to consume your output from your creative work. Thank you, and may God bless you. In addition, we are here as financial institutions. I went through all the 10s, and I saw brilliant thoughts from some of you. And I want to say that as a financial institution, we are ready to partner with you. In fact, us as a SACCO, we depend on your proposals. When you come up with a good proposal that we see it has got business sense and we can move on with it to implement, be sure when you visit us, we will be closer to you. The only challenge, and it is a good challenge to all of us, is that the SACCOs are savings and credit. That means you have to save on something. You have to bring something before you are given something in form of credit and other services. So please, I urge you to be closer to these SACCOs. Even right now, the government has given a priority to these SACCOs simply because we touch the most vulnerable and those people who needs a hand to be lifted. So kindly position yourselves, because our main barrier in this business is mobilization of savings because of the capacities of our communities. But then if we have a government who can come up with a good deposit or a good end to these cooperatives, for sure we can give everyone the best service, and not only the best service, but skewed to their mindset. So the only thing we need from you is to position yourselves. I can say Skyline Sacco has got agile products. And when you come up with an idea, even if the product is not there, be sure we can develop your own. Just convince us that you have something that is worth to be supported. You will have given us support in terms of idea generation and even helping your peers or any other person near to you. Because when we come up with that product, you are not only the person who is going to consume that product, but we are going to share with the rest of the teams. Lastly, I must say that the products for SACCOs are affordable. They are affordable simply because we mobilize our own and we lend our own. So that means we are able to gap the interest rates, we are able to gap all other factors, especially other charges, to suit that person who needs assistance. So kindly be closer to us and we will give you the best. So I believe we will have time to do the interactions. Some of us, we need audience to ask us questions so that we can bridge those gaps that you have. Sawa sawa. There is someone who said, be the change that you want to see in the future. That is my closing remark. Otherwise, thank you so much and may God bless you. We will continue interacting. Our head office is in Eldama Ravine. That is where my office is, but our nearest branch here is in Nakuru. That is opposite Westside Mall. Just come in there and we'll give you the service. Karibuni sana, karibuni sana. Thank you so much. Let me rest there for now.
Maybe what I will challenge Mr. Mitei, the CEO of Skyline. There are young men, if you see on this hall, who are holding cameras, doing the technical part, the sound team, the IT, and the young men and women seated up there, and they're wondering, what is it for us from Skyline, yeah? But sometimes for us, the staff, we may know what Skyline do. For these young people, sometimes they're called the hustlers. So they do some little things on the side. They hustle, yeah, away from school, work on a camera somewhere, they do their hustle. And sometimes they just need some capital to buy a camera, a sound system, and whatever it is to start a small business. Just to make that on behalf of them, that if Skyline could tailor-make something small for them to look for funding to start the idea. And being an innovation week, these are innovators. When you see them here, they're trying to innovate, but sometimes capital is a big deal. So I will ask on behalf of Director of Research if something could be done with the Directorate of Research to fund those young innovators. Sorry.
Maybe I assumed that we all know what it means by SACCO. But then, for hustlers, someone without anything and wants to do something, for sure, I said, you have to bring something to be given something. Let me rephrase it. When you are not able to raise, and you have a good idea, or a good business you are trying to do, we can actualize by you giving us the proposal, then what we will do, we will borrow more and then we keep something for you from that borrowing. Will we have assisted you? Sure. So don't fear, don't think. Even the civil servants, in some cases, they are not able to raise their deposits. So what we do, we let them borrow more and we retain a certain percentage just as their savings. We will have encouraged them to save, isn't it? And at the end of the year, they're able to earn a return out of that saving. Will we have assisted you? So we have all the solutions to these problems. Just come in and share with us, and we will show you the way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. CEO. I think that's what the directorate stands for. We are a directorate of young people, and sometimes we had to advocate for them because they're young innovators, yeah? So my young people, we want the idea, but also in the habit of saving, yeah? And I'm sure they will help us know how to save as little as it is. I think one of my first investment was through a SACCO, and if that would help, then it will make a difference. So I'll quickly move. I know we have Boresha here, but please allow me to welcome somebody, then you'll come in. Mr. Lawrence Karani, the CEO of Lost and Found Documents and Items Center. If I could give you 5 minutes as one of our partners and sponsors to just share with us, the audience, about the innovation and what Lost and Found does. Karibu sana.
Thank you and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lawrence Karani, the CEO and the founder of Lost and Found Documents Center. Now, I'm very impressed by meeting Ms. Dr. Dhiga here because I had a chance to listen to him, and actually it's him who made me come this place. I'm very thankful and Dr. Dhiga, because when I listened to you, I said this is the right place to be. Now, I want to start by saying that there's no one here who has never lost anything. But when you lose a document, you undergo a very big agony to look for it and replace the same. Now, we have come in as Lost and Found Document Center to link the user and the founder. We lose so many documents every minute. But when you lose a document, for example, you lose an ID, somebody finds it somewhere who has totally no use for it. But you are struggling wherever you are, thinking about your ID, your passport, any other document. I came up with this idea because one time, and a business invitation outside the country, I had a visa, I had a passport and a visa, and paid for a flight. But the last minute that I wanted to travel, I didn't have my passport. You can imagine now I lost my passport and to get another one, go for another one. I lost the business where I wanted to go. I also had to go and look for visa. All that costed me a lot. And I was saying, now somebody has got my passport wherever he is, and he cannot find me. He cannot do anything. And later on, after I looked for another one, it's when now I got the passport that I lost. So this one took me to some strength and some length to look for ways of coming up with solutions to mitigate that idea of losing and finding documents. So what I did is that I came up with a concept that basically talks about youth. We create job opportunities by employing so many youth. Youth who can go to M-Pesa points, they can go to airports, they can go to police stations, they can go to courts, they can go to institutions like this one, look for lost documents, and when they find them, they are put in our database. In our database, it's very easy when you lose, for example, a document that has got a serial number. At the comfort of your house, you just go to your phone, send the word lost, you send with the serial number of what you've lost to 3532. That's a short code. And you get the results upfront or on your phone that maybe your passport that you've lost, it is such as a price, and go and pick it. So when he did that, I approached the Minister of Youth and Gender, and they gave me Huduma Center Nakuru. We did piloting for a month, and we corrected so many documents, so many of them. Some Kenyans are very honest. They even brought money. Somebody comes to me and says, no, this money is not mine, so it is in a wallet, so you can be able to look for the owner of the wallet and give back the money. So after we did that, we now embarked on looking for partners that we can partner in their country and have incubation centers where we want to move to every sub-county and create jobs for the youth. These jobs will have laptops in every center, we'll have internet, we'll have printers, so that when these youth are not receiving documents from wherever, because we'll have like 5 people or more in every center, in every sub-county. And especially when we go to Nairobi, we'll have like even 30 or 40 per every sub-county. We'll have to keep these youth busy, because they will be doing other cyber services. For example, registration of companies, you can do that, doing returns, and many other services that you do on a cyber office. So we are saying that we can be able to create not less than 4,000 jobs for the youth. This is because we'll have even career services. If you lose your passport in Mombasa, you don't have, and you're in Kisumu, you just go on phone, and once you find it in Mombasa, you don't have to go to Mombasa. We'll tell you, we said your document in like 2 days, and our courier services will be able to pass it over the document to you in Kisumu. So you'll be able to pay the money for finding the document, and also the courier service. Every document here has got its value, and the value is what we are going to charge. But for example, if now a passport, if you lose a passport today, it will incur you 12,000 to replace another one, but hers will be charging like 6,000. If you lose a certificate today, either Form 4 or a degree certificate, if you go to NEC, it's not less than 5,000. You see, every document. For example, if I lose my wallet now, it has got NSSF card, NHIF card, I have got my driver license there, I have got my ID there, I have got other documents there. All these documents have the charges, every document. I have got 3 bank prints, everyone costing 300 shillings. So losing my wallet, recovering those documents, I can pay close to 2,000 shillings. So with the 2,000 shillings that one person has lost, as into the youth taken home something that someone has come and paid, Mama Fran goes and takes a matatu from town, and he forgets a Oka bag that got the stuff. Everything is there, clothes and whatever. And when we get that stuff, we keep it for you. You come, we ascertain whether you are the rightful owner. We ask you questions. What is in that bag? Blah, 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 blah. Once you get to know that you are the rightful owner, we give you the bag, but upon payment of something, you see, depending with the value of what you've lost. If you lose your phone now, which costs 50,000, we are able to give you back. if you have it, by like paying 5,000 shillings. And with that one, if for sure we have that phone, 5,000, I mean, and we ask for 5,000, you cannot think about it. We are going to look for kids who get lost. Watoto wanapotea, unasikia mtoto wangu amepotea. So we get those kids and keep them in a children's home. We partner with them. So when you come to a place, we tell you now, we ascertain whether you are the right phone of that kid. We give back your kid. Mtoto wako amelala huku, amekula, amefanya nini? We give back your kid upon payment of something. So there's so much that we also think of keeping documents. For example, you can keep your documents with us, like title deeds and the rest, very vital documents. Once you lose what you have, come back to us, and we'll be able to give you back what we've been keeping for you safely at a cost every month. So the Rostad Fund Document Center is a big concept. It's very wide. We are even looking for vehicles, those cars that are lost. And if you visit a police station, you get vehicles there that no owners are not, they do not know where their cars are. Has will be able to access those cars, do search, and look for owners. When you come, we tell you now, you've got your car here. If the car's value is 2 million, give us like 50,000. So how are these youth will be able to get jobs? We are going to create jobs, and there are so many enormous. We have been able to move outside Kenya. We have registered Lost and Found in East Africa, so that we can be able to live, to get our youth here and employ in Uganda, Tanzania. Others will be like, county directors for Lost and Found, item finders, those who have done ICT will be a major, that's a major area that we are focusing on, because everything is digital. Are you getting that? So what we are saying is that we have come up with a very, very original idea that is nowhere. Even if you go, you will not find it anywhere. It's only Wazungus that you hear they have lost their dog or the other pet, but you still have to look for them. So Lost and Found Document Center is here to look for partners. Partners as in to finance us to roll out the idea. As in the marketing, we need to market this idea so that everyone knows about Lost and Found. If you lose anything, you are told, just SMS this number, just call this number, just go to this office, and everyone will be able to know about Lost and Found. There are those who are called good Samaritans. If you get something lost, you bring to our office, we'll be able to appreciate by giving you something small. Fair, urudi mahali umetoka. Unaona? And once you get that, I'm telling you, this country will have promoted a lot of youth, bottom-up idea. So that because this is purely bottom, we don't have you don't have to have degrees to do all that, to correct documents. And those who are running, they will be able to be in our offices and in managerial levels. Are you getting? So what we are saying is that please, we need we need partners. We need donors who can come in there with their funds. We do marketing, we do offices, we do a few things. We are only looking for seed money. And for sure, because I heard Mr. Ndega talking about a lot of money lying wherever, but the ideas are not there. We have the idea. What we don't have is cash. But I can tell you, when we did the piloting, and within that counties, the money we could get within a year is enormous. You can't think about it. We will be competing next to Safaricom if you want to give us that chance. So what we are saying is that we need to partner with you, get us partners. We can partner together. Say like we're even selling shares. We can sell shares to you. You come in. Because in future, this is what we'll be talking about. This will be next to M-Pesas that we have today. With those few remarks, I want to say that I'm very thankful because of the organizing committee here, and Madam, thank you so much again because of this time you've given me. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, the CEO, Mr. Karani, Lost and Found. I hear him say, we have the idea, but we don't have the money. And I was looking at Mr. Mitei. Today, you're a finance guy, and I was saying, kuna kitu, yeah? And I got clicked when he said, you can even come and buy shares from us, you know, to co-own the company. So those partners and those co-shares are in this room, yeah? We have to network, and our network is our worth, yeah? So we have to look for those shares and try and build innovators like Mr. Kimani's company. Let me just move quickly before I welcome Dr. Thiga for presentation. I would want to welcome Boresha Sacco as they come. This is a gentle reminder to join us on our social media accounts. Our media team reminds me that we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, and we are also tweeting with the hashtag Central Rift Innovation Week 2022. We are on Twitter with the account Kabarak Rayo, that is Research, Innovation and Outreach. We are also tweeting on Kabarak University, so you could follow us, you could comment, you could take your selfie from wherever you are and tag us along so that we could carry on that conversation on innovation. From that particular announcement, let me just move to Boresha Sacco as our other sponsor and partner. And by the way, all these sponsors or partner have a tent on your left side of the hall. You could pass by to get either their contact, to get the product that you want them to provide, the services. You could get their location or address and just have a conversation with them on what you have and the idea you have. And this is to encourage both staff, our online audience, we would leave contact somewhere, but also our students in case you want a product from them. They're available in the tent, but they're also available in Nakuru. We will provide the physical address. All right, I'll move to Boresha Sacco. Boresha Sacco has been an amazing partner with us and sponsors, not just today, but previously we've worked with them. And I want to welcome Madam Anne Cheragon from the marketing department of Boresha to just tell us what it was about and what the products we could be consuming from them, from the audience that are here and online. Karibu, Madam Anne.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Anne Cheragon from Boresha Sacco, the marketing department. And it will be very hard to speak after two CEOs have spoken on before you, but I'll try and I'll give you an overview of Boresha Sacco. Boresha Sacco is a Sacco that was started in 1976 by 10 members, and currently we have over 70,000 members. We are spread across 6 counties, and we as Boresha Sacco embrace technology a lot, because now currently the banking sector is moving to online or to your phone, whereby you can do most of your transactions via your phone at the comfort of your house. So we are a consumer of technology and innovation, which today you are showcasing here of your innovations. In our mission statement, for example, we say that to mobilize savings and provide quality, affordable, and innovative financial solutions to members. So we've incorporated innovation in our mission statement, because with the current world, it's becoming a global village, whereby you can do everything at the comfort of your house. As Mr. Alan Mitei has said, SACCOs will really complement each other. So most of the things that he has expressed are the same things that as Boresha Sacco, we embrace also. He has said that it's a SACCO where you save and then you're given credit. It's a savings and credit. And also he has given us that sometimes we may not be having the financial muscle to save so that we get the credit. We'll go to that extra, we also go to that extra mile that you can borrow some amount, then part of it is retained to your savings. And at the end of the year, those savings will earn dividends at the end of the day. So at the same time, you will be having a loan, which you are servicing, and you will be getting dividends from your savings. Also, for the young guys, the hustlers in the house, as they say, we would do more of supporting you by providing your proposal your proposal must have a business sense, because we are in business. We are not a CBO or a NGO. We are in business to make money for you to get the dividends. So we need you to bring in your proposals. The proposals will be analyzed, and you will be guided through what is needed, and you will be funded for that innovation. Currently, we embrace technology in terms of, in Boresha Sacco, for example, that we are using across the 17 branches of Boresha Sacco. You can view your statement from any branch that you're in. Whether you're in Nakuru, whether you're in Eldoret, whether you're in Baringo, the deepest part of Baringo in Barwesa, the same statement can be accessed from all the branches. So that is as much as we embrace technology. Also, we do mobile banking, where you use your phone to transact your account, to withdraw, to borrow loans through your phone. So we encourage you to be very innovative, and also, as you invent, try to make sure that these innovations that you're doing are secure. The banking sector will go for innovations that they know the money is safeguarded. So make sure it is fraud-free as much as possible. However, it might not be 100%, but try as much as possible for that to be. I really don't have much to say. You can visit our tents outside there. We have partnered with, for like Kabarak University, the county governments, the national governments. We have organized youth groups that we fund. You can visit us so that we can give you and guide you on what to do and what you need to do, so that we can be able to fund you as an individual or as a group. That is much that I can say today. And as we say in Boresha, pamoja tuastawi, we want all of us to grow. United we prosper. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Anne of Boresha, for, I believe it was a good presentation. I found it just towards the closure, but I believe it was well brought to us. I would like to invite us to join me in appreciating Anne with a round. Yeah. Thank you so much. So we are doing well, and I would like us to have a breather, because I know it's afternoon. We've just had, I believe all of us have had something to eat. And usually, if I am to be the example, around this time I don't like listening to presentations, because I feel like I need to sleep. And I'm so sure I represent majority of you. So can you allow me to ask you to stand up, please? To stand up, kindly, Mr. Alan, and the director, and big people, please. I request us to stand up. What do you call it? Nataka kwa nini kidogo. What do you call that? Yeah? Yes. So that tufukuze usingizi. So find some space. Find some good space. Stretch a bit. Yeah. Good. There's some good ladies there. Rexella and Mercy, please find space. Those are my students, so I know them. Kuna jamaa alikuwa anasema hivi ati, so you look at me. Sema I got a ball. I put it here, so you demonstrate. I got a ball. I put it here. I pakata. I got a ball. I put it here. I pepeta, or it's pepeta, not pakata, it's pepeta. So I got a ball. I put it here. I pepeta. So we do pepeta 3 times. Then we put it elsewhere. And you ensure you cooperate with me, regardless of where I'm going to say we put the ball. All right, are we ready? So let me demonstrate. I got a ball. I put it here. I pepeta. So 3 times. I got a ball. I put it here. I pepeta. Haya, chukua nafasi sasa. I want people to be alive and, of course, the usingizi, so that we can continue listening to innovations and how you mobilize for money so that we become rich. Being rich is a very important thing. Mtu asikwambie pesa ni kitu mbaya. Pesa ni mzuri. Kama ni mbaya, wacha ikuwe kwako. Kwangu, I want to have money. Nice. Okay. Can we go now? Can we stand up, please? All right, let's go now. We sing it together. I got a ball. I put it here. I pepeta. I pepeta. Kuna watu wa pepeti. Let's try the chest. I got a ball. I put it here. I pepeta. I pepeta. Wacha tuwe kwa mguu. I got a ball. I put it here. I put it here. I put it here. I pepeta. I pepeta. Nice. Good. So we're good to go. Thank you so much. The next section will be brought to us by Dr. Moses Thiga. But before that, this event is streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you have friends somewhere and they feel like joining us and following these proceedings, whatever we're discussing here, please ask them or can send them the link so that they can follow through these very important discussions. Ensure that you're tweeting we're using the hashtag CRIW and hashtag KabrakUni. And you can also follow us on Twitter. The handle is at KabrakUni at Rio. KabrakUni Rio. KabrakUni Rio. So the gentleman who has already come is usually very fast. That's why he is what he is. Dr. Moses Thiga. Dr. Moses Thiga is the Director, Research, Innovation and Outreach at Kabarak University. He is coming to talk about grants. I had an opportunity to look at his CV. I have had an opportunity to look at his CV because sometimes I have the privilege to sit in his office. So I have seen a file that has his latest CV. And the same CV is also online, so you can also see it. So I started looking at the number of grants this gentleman has attracted to his name. So I did a page, and all of them are grants in millions, others in US dollars in millions. Then I went to the next page. Again, I finished the page, and they were all grants. You see the way you write things, and you get tired. So he has almost 3 packed pages of grants. In fact, when you talk about grants at Kabarak University, the next thing people should be asking is it Dr. Moses Thiga, or who is it? So you have always asked him what is the secret, because I also do write a lot, and most of the time I get regrets. So I would like to listen to hear what he does, isn't it? Because other than mobilizing funding for our innovations, we can also write. You can also write. There are quite a number of openings that are available, which we can respond to by writing very good proposals about what we are doing, and you can easily attract those grants. So I believe we need to now listen to hear what exactly does Dr. Moses Thiga do that Dr. Michael Alejo does not do. Dr. Moses Thiga.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is a money session. This is a money session. We should be very excited and very upbeat, because one of the main questions we are getting from a lot of innovators, which is why we actually designed this session, is where do I get money to finance my innovation? A lot of innovators, and they could be right, they could be wrong, but they think that money is a major problem that is coming between them and that brilliant breakthrough. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it is not. But yes, we do need money at some point. There are many sources of money. Let me first begin by saying that we've already heard about money that costs. That is money from a SACCO. It's not exactly free. You didn't tell us that. You pay an interest. Money from commercial banks, you pay an interest. Money from an angel investor, they just give it to you for free. All they want is maybe just do a good job and they're happy. You have money from venture capitalists. They want to give you money in return for shares. So Lost and Found is actually looking more for angel investors, for venture capitalists, give you money, you give me shares. But there's also money for free. Sounds like fun, yeah? The kind of money you just get, just take and use. And it's a lot. And it is both easy and it's difficult to get the money. Let me begin with the easy part, which is related to the difficult part. The easy part is if you have a brilliant idea. I will keep saying this until the end of Central Rift, whenever I get a chance. If you have a brilliant idea, an idea that solves a real problem, felt problem, then somebody has money to finance that idea. On the converse, if your idea is really not to the liking of the person with the money, then you can expect that they have no interest in you. So I'm trying to answer Dr. Alehoa's question. Why does he get a lot of regrets? Why do we get a lot of regrets? It's because sometimes our ideas are not totally aligned to the person who has the money. And let me tell you, those who have the money have no apologies for not giving you their money. It's their money, you know? So you either do what they want or you go find another source of money. So I was listening to an information session yesterday for an upcoming grant that I intend to apply for. And they spell out their terms and conditions very clearly. And if you do not abide, they tell you, we will throw your proposal out in the preliminary stages. You know, the moment we receive it, we look and find a certain word in your document, we don't read it any further. Because we told you we don't want that. So in this case, the one I was listening to, they want programs specifically for undergraduate students and specifically integrated into the curriculum, not out of class, not postgraduate, not workshops, in class. So tell me, if I put the word graduate students there, if I put workshop, boot camp, meetup, the moment they find that word, that is the end of the reading. And they have good money. So if I don't listen, if I don't do exactly what they say, then I don't get the money. Now that's both a good and a bad thing, because sometimes people with money may force you to do things you don't like. That is if you are not principled. Money comes with terms and conditions. You have to align to certain belief systems. You have to execute certain activities that the person with the money wants you to do. So you've got to be careful too about getting free money. It should not cost you your heart and soul. You really must still abide by your principles. For example, there are donors from whom we cannot take money as an institution if their belief systems do not align to ours. For example, if there is a donor who wants to give Kabarak University $1 million or $2 million or $100 million to promote abortion, for example, I can tell you we are not going to receive that money. Because life begins at conception. We will not take it. We cannot promote that. We cannot promote things that do not align with our belief systems. So you've got to think when you get money or when you're looking for money, look at the profile of the person giving the money. They are going to make you do things. Do those things align with your belief system? Then if so, please proceed. Otherwise, those are issues. Let me talk about money. It's not necessarily free. So, I'll talk about types of grants, how to get grants, why applications get rejected. That's a very interesting one. And then where do you get money? So, a grant is money given to you by an organization or a government, an individual, for a particular purpose. Why is it a grant and not a loan? You're not expected to repay. You don't return. It's given to you. They don't call it a gift because it's a special purpose money. A gift is yours to use as you wish. So sometimes donors also give gifts. I have received gifts also. Yeah? So in the list he's referring to, there are 2 gifts where the donor tells you, within a broad range of activities, here's money. Just do something within that scope. You know? Then it's up to you to decide the specifics. But a grant will be very specific. It's for 1, 2, 3, 4 items. and they'll expect you to report, not to repay back the money. So, there are many types of grants: research, innovation, outreach, travel grants. I'm not speaking in the context of the Central Rift Innovation Week. And we're talking about the commercialization of research and innovation. So there are all these types of grants. So, again, a research grant is that finances your research. It finances the journey of discovery. So research is a journey of discovery, and it can be financed. An innovation grant, on the other hand, is something that is given to you to finance the implementation of an idea. So we are not discovering, you already have a concept. For example, EVs, electronic voting. We already have the concept, but now we need to maybe do a prototype, improve the prototype, something about the idea, it's clear. We are not basically exploring, we know what we want to do. So that's an innovation grant, and probably something that you all need at this point. Then an outreach grant too. And you need money to go out into the community and make a difference. That's called an outreach grant. Travel grants, you may want to go for conferences, events, workshops, maybe to such an event as this, that's a travel grant. So how do you get a grant? Again, I hope you don't get tired of this. You need to know why you need the money. You don't just apply and you don't have a reason for that money. And even if you want it from a bank, from a SACCO, from an angel investor, from a venture capitalist, you need to know why you need the money, whether it's free or not. That's the most important part. I'll not read everything, but that's the spirit of that slide. Why do you need the money? If you don't know why you need the money, if it's not crystal clear, the chances that somebody will give you money are next to nil. If you appear to be confused and etc., no. Just go compose yourself and come back. Because nobody's about to waste money, whether it's a grant or not. Check on eligibility. Do you qualify? The grants have conditions. Some on age, some on gender, some on faith, some on maybe your academic qualifications, some on work experience, some on where you come from. There are grants for Kenya, for Africa, for universities, for non-profits. Just check whether you're eligible in all those many different criteria. Otherwise, if you don't meet the criteria, then your grant will not be processed. Then, you need to get a background check on who is giving the money. Who is this person who is giving the money? What do they fund? If it's not the first time they are funding, you can find other projects they are funded. And you start seeing what are their thoughts. What do they actually fund? They may even give you a description of those projects. You just want to get a feeling of who are these people, what do they finance. So do a background check. Go to their website, read the documents they shared with you, read the section in their website called About Us. Who are these people? What's their mission? What's their vision? What are their core activities, their core values? Understand them. So that when you write, you speak to their mission, you speak to their vision, you speak to something they care about. So you got to do a background check. Get support. That could be in the form of collaborators, could be letters, could be recommendations from people you've worked with, other grants maybe you have already. So you need to get that kind of support from other parties. Be proactive. Don't just wait for the day the grant comes. Start looking for them. Start preparing, honing your writing skills. Be proactive about them. Don't wait to be told that, hey, there's a grant here. You should be the one looking for it, So don't just sit there and hope one day you see an email that tells you. No, just go ahead and look. Set realistic goals and ideas. Don't say you're going to build the next Coca-Cola in the next 1 year. That's not realistic. Give yourself 100 years. Let's be real. That's how long it's taken them to get somewhere there, isn't it? Be realistic about what you're proposing. Look at your capacity, look at your environment, and propose something that is realistic. And if it is big, propose realistic timelines. Just be realistic. Don't be too over-ambitious. Sometimes they'll know you really don't know what you're speaking about. There's no you're going to begin car manufacturing in Kenya in the next 5 years. No, hold on. You know how capital intensive that is? Yeah? The kind of skills you need? Really? Tell us about 10 years, maybe. And are you actually the right person? Do you have a PhD in engineering, for example, or a master's degree in automotive engineering? If you really have something in food science, we need to start thinking, how do you know about car manufacturing? You need to really convince the person with the money. So be realistic about what you can actually do. If you can't do everything, get partnerships. People who can add value to that idea that you have. Read those grant guidelines. Yeah? Read. A lot of times we just see the title, apply here, we go straight, but we don't go through the details. They give you lots of instructions on what to do, what not to do, how many words for here, how many pages there, what activities we don't support, what kind of things we want to look for. But we haven't the patience sometimes to read those pages of documents. I can tell you that majority of the grants, if not all that I've managed to get, I've taken time to read the call end to end. Word for word, understand it, and not just once. Then now you have the mind of the person giving the money. Now write. You will realize that you write in sync and the chances of getting the money are very high. A good budget. Even if you're not a mathematics person, if you're going to get grants, you need to, after all, it's money you're asking for. So you've got to be good at asking for the money. How to budget, put realistic prices for your items. Don't forget items, don't overstate the number of days. Don't tell us from Nakuru to Nairobi you're going to spend 6,000 bob one way. Just be realistic. People have an idea of what things should cost. Just be realistic. If you don't know how to do budgets and think of money, you must get somebody to help you on that one. That's the heart of the proposal. That's exactly what you're looking for. Write it with life and passion. Pour your heart into it. Don't let it be that activity you're doing on and off, maybe not, 1 hour, 2 minutes here. It takes time to write a very good document. You know, immerse yourself in the writing and you probably will come up with a very good proposal. Revise, get somebody to read it through. Grammar, spelling, formatting. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Do I align with this call? You know? Get somebody to give you that other look. Do I actually align with what these people want? You could even establish that yourself by just reading again yourself. And ask yourself, if I'm the one going to assess this document, am I convinced that this person writing has understood what we want to fund? You know, it takes time to actually go through your proposal that way. Take feedback and rewrite if necessary. Spelling, please. Grammar, formatting. Small things that mean a lot to some people. They tell a lot about you. If you can't write a neat document, then really, should we work with you? Submit ahead of time also. No, deadlines are deadlines. And you learn the hard way with grants. If you're the kind that is used to rushing in the door at the last minute and you explain yourself and people understand you, just come in, okay. If you're the kind that gives your assignment late and you beg the lecturer to understand and they understand, in this field they will not understand. And you will not know who to talk to. It will be a system. So the deadline comes, the system is closed. Who do you talk to? And many opportunities may go past you if you're not careful about deadlines. So why do grant applications get rejected quickly? The team is not eligible. Your organization is not eligible. They told you got to be 18 to 35 years. You're 35 years and 1 day. My friend, you're not between 35. If they said below 35, it's below 35. And not by 1 minute. You know? If they said male, don't say you are transgender. They want male, please. Not those who don't know. You know? If they said it's academic institution, it's academic. You know? So eligibility of the individuals and the organization is a major issue. You lack clarity. They don't understand what do you mean by a majority of Kenyans smoke weed. Explain which kind of weed. Do you mean majority of Kenyans smoke bang? Are you sure? Where did you get that information? You know, you're not supporting your claims. They'll think, this one doesn't know what they're saying. Yeah? Clarity. Completeness. Sounds funny, but some of these grant applications have so many sections. If you one day will apply for a grant from the European Union, Horizon 2020, those grant applications are nothing almost short of writing a book. They are long, they are complex, they are complicated. And there's a tendency you may forget a section. And that's why you don't write alone. You can actually send an incomplete proposal. They have almost 15 to 20 sections, and I've tried, not succeeded yet. They're just complicated, So the proposed question, something is not adding up, it's not fresh. That's the other issue. Most proposals will not ask you to submit things that are obvious. They will be looking for freshness of thought, freshness of approach. And that's where innovation comes in. Do you have a fresh idea? Do you have something exciting, something we've not seen before? That is innovation. So if you want money for any purpose, they want to ask, what is new? What's different about this thing you're doing? If there is nothing, if you just want to copy-paste and develop another Skyline Sacco, exactly like the one that exists. So they'll ask you, what's the purpose? We already have another Skyline. What are you changing? So if no freshness of thought or approach in your proposal, then it won't fly. Your literature review indicates you don't understand the area. You are telling us that, that COVID started off in 2018, and you don't back it up. No, we know COVID started late 2019. Where did you read 2018? Do you have evidence? And you leave out big chunks of obvious information that we expect you to be familiar with. So you need to demonstrate you are familiar with the area, because somebody is going to give you money. They better give it to somebody who knows the area. The proposed project is beyond the capacity of the team. I mentioned about your qualifications, your experience, the resources available to you. If they appear to be beyond, not to be enough to undertake the kind of work you're saying, then chances that you may not gather money are very high. Because it will be difficult for them to give you money when it's obvious you haven't the capacity, or the team. So you could have some capacity, but they wanted a team with certain mix of skill sets. You didn't assemble such a team. So there you go again with capacity of your team. The methodology is not quite adding up, So you want to build, to establish a science park, but you want to do a series of workshops, classes. How does that connect to a science park? Ought you not to be meeting investors, identifying sites, identifying innovators? There's a way to do things, different things for that matter. So you've got to be acquainted with the way to do what you're proposing. The budget is unrealistic. The unrealistic part goes both ways. It's either too low or too high. Too low, you really don't know what you need. You can't say you want to construct a 1,000 kilometer road, 1,000 kilometer, and you're saying you only need 100 M. You can't do that. Roads cost generally about $1 million per kilometer. If you don't know that, we can't trust you with building that road. You don't know the costs. On the other hand, you could be overestimating. You say you want to pay school fees for students in Kabarak University, for example, and you tell us it's 500,000 per semester. Really? 500,000? That's a PhD. Not undergraduate. So cost can be unrealistic in both ways, too high or too low. Then you could be putting in things that are not necessary in your proposal. Be careful. The cost is greater than any potential benefit. So when you think about the costs you're trying to put there and the potential gains from that work, we wonder, should we spend $1 billion on such a thing? Really? On a 50-meter bridge? $1 billion, 50 meters. And where is this bridge? It's somewhere, not in the middle of nowhere, but where there is very little economic activity. How will it actually pay for itself? So you've got to think in that perspective. The quality of writing is poor. Many claims that are not substantiated. These percentages that you can't actually explain. Where did you get this percentage? So poor quality of writing, repeated, convoluted reasoning. What is convoluted reasoning? It doesn't make sense. You can't say that Moses is brown because a light is shining on him. No, he's just brown because he was created that way. Yeah? It's got to add up. It's got to make sense. Or too long. You just write and write and write and write, but you're just repeating yourself. Defects. You are not paying attention to detail. You're off margin, spelling, punctuation, etc. So that's a challenge. If you can't do a good document, what other thing can you do well? The person reading will wonder, is this how we are going to operate? The next time I ask for a report, I'm going to get something that looks like this proposal. They say, no, this won't work. So you've got to be very meticulous in your writing and the presentation of your proposal. Then, if you don't follow the guidelines exactly, not almost, to the letter, we told you 1 inch margins, not 0.99 inches. Don't be funny. We told you font 12. Don't play around here with 11.5. We told you double spaced. Sidocha kutuchezea hapa na 1.5. We know 1.5. It was 300 words, not 301. Exactly. And you know they have the money. You don't follow, they tell you, hey, you are not serious. If you can't read our instructions, what else will you read? And this is just the beginning of an engagement. If you have the luxury to submit a proposal past the deadline, if you do, it will still be rejected. We also want to know, can you keep deadlines? You're going to put a work plan in your proposal. If you can't just meet the first deadline, which other deadlines will you keep? So, past the deadline is not acceptable. We have grants within the university, speaking to students, research grants, innovation grants, outreach grants. We send out calls, but we don't get responses. Are you afraid of not getting? That is very normal. Out of every 10 grants I write, I get 9 regrets, if not 10 regrets. But you know what? The writing is what makes the success. And those who regret, you know one way of not doing it. You know, some will give you feedback. So just apply. We'll give you feedback and use that feedback to make the next application better. So we have internal research funding. We have external research funding. These are just so few. I just put a few of these when I prepared this presentation. NRF, Global Innovation Fund, International Center for Theoretical Physics, the Spencer Foundation, they finance education, the European Union. I mean, this is just a drop in the ocean. A drop in the ocean. And literally speaking, there are thousands upon thousands of people who can give you grants. Ndio hao wengine. That day I looked around and I found so many of them. The African Academy of Sciences, you know, Africa Economic Research Consortium, etc., CEDA, you know. Google also gives grants, technology companies give grants. So there's a lot of money. I close with the iceberg illusion that people see success. Dr. Walehwa sees 3 pages of grants. Now 3 pages of grants, ladies and gentlemen, are since 2011. How many years is that? 11 years of applying, 11 years. Now down there is the real story. What people don't see: failure, persistence, sacrifice, disappointments, good habits, a lot of hard work, dedication. I've written grants into the wee hours of the morning, submitted them, knowing that I'm not going to get that grant. But something tells me you must submit it. I just know this one I'm not going to get. I do, and I still submit it. Why? Because I want to push myself to write it, because the writing is the practice for the next one. But up here you see 3 pages, nice things, but it takes so much work to get that one grant. In the last few months, I've gotten quite a number of regrets. Quite a number. Nobody knows those ones. They only know the successes. So, writing grants is more like that. You aim, you miss. You aim, you miss, but sometimes you hit bullseye. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing the secrets behind succeeding at writing grants. I have liked the last part about the things people see and those that they do not get to see. Because from my little experience is that people, I don't know what your opinion is about working hard, but my little experience tells me that there's no luck when it comes to success or succeeding. Succeeding takes hard work. So when everyone else is sleeping and feeling nice in bed and keeping warm, putting in 8 hours to be very healthy, somebody else is putting in 3 hours. And what you see the next day is ordinary life and successful life. So I really liked that last slide. Thank you so much, Dr. Thiga. We will work hard so that in the next 10 years, because in 2011 I also had a degree, so it has also been 12 years, but I hardly have half a page of grants. I hope to be there. I believe I am representing so many other people here. I don't think I am alone. Mr. Nyakundi, am I? Good, thank you. So let's work hard and get these grants. Now, I would like to invite our presenters to the podium just for a few minutes. I think there are 3, not 4. Mr. Alan, the CEO, Skyline Sacco. I'm very grateful to you, sir. I know you are a busy man, but you have sat in here. I told you at the beginning, there's not even another time you fellowship with a CEO. It's not easy to be a chief executive officer. It's not a small thing. But we have him here the entire afternoon, and we really appreciate it. I would like to kindly invite you to kindly take a step and take a seat on the front. I would like to invite Madam Anne from Boresha Sacco. We are very grateful as well to you for making that presentation, to also march up kindly and take a seat over there. I also want to invite Dr. Moses Thiga to take up a seat on the podium. What we are going to do is freely interact with our speakers. If you have a question about their presentation, you may not have, and I think let me also invite Mr. Karani, because I've seen 4 chairs and Mr. Karani is here, to take the 4th seat. Kindly, I think let's have Mr. Karani there. I like what they're doing. Lost and Found Document Center. Even the name only is quite interesting. Any question you have about SACCOs, about mobilizing resources, about grants, about loans? I am a young person. Can I get a loan from a SACCO? How else can I get money from a SACCO if I don't have a proper income? I know you have questions. That's why we are sitting here. And just maybe, because I know a number of you are trying to do things, right? A number of you are trying to do things, and very soon you'll be out here. And the space out here after school is not very friendly. If you watch the wild, then and probably you've seen how animals behave. That's how stuff happens after school. Out here, it's not easy. You must be resilient, and you must have a muscle to push. So I'd like to invite questions to our presenters, our panelists. The only lady we have is Miss Anne. I will struggle with the second name, but Miss Anne from Boresha, from the marketing department of Boresha Sacco. The next gentleman is Mr. Karani, a director at the Lost and Found Document Center. So you don't lose your ID. You just go online, put in some code, and they tell you, please come for your ID. Then we have Mr. Alan Kemei, this Chief Executive Officer, Skyline Sacco. And we have Dr. Moses Tiga, the Director, Research, Innovation and Outreach, Kabarak University. I am looking out for hands. So question, you raise your hand, I will see you, bring a microphone to you. Then you mention, say your name, your institution, then the person to which you're directing your question, or if it's a random question to any of the speakers, then you ask your question. Any question? Yes, I can see. Do we have an extra microphone? Later here. Is it working? Yeah. Number side here. Yeah. Okojo, there's a hand over there. There's another hand somewhere. Tuulizane maswali, Dr. Ruth. Then there's another hand. Mr. Peter. I'll introduce Mr. Peter. I know him very personally. Anybody else? Up there. Let's start there. Please write your question very nicely so that we can interact. I think we take, let's do the first round of questions. Yes.
Okay, good evening. My name is Dennis Ogueno. I have a question to Mr. Mitei and Madam Ann. While you're giving your presentations, you mentioned something about fraud detection. Madam Ann specifically said something to do with the security of the money is very key when you're considering these proposals and these research things. So I have a question. When you say it's very key, does it mean that whatever, because I've noticed you have M-Pesa Pay Bill and yeah, does it mean that at the moment it's a problem really, the fraud thing, or it's okay, let me rephrase the question, I feel it's vague. Mr. Mitei mentioned that there is an opportunity for fraud detection and management. Then Mrs. Ann came and said that while you're considering all these things, especially mobile banking, security of the money is key. Is there really a gap? Because I've seen you using Paybill and I feel Safaricom is the most secure. So me coming with an, let me say it I have an idea in mind and it's not that secure compared to Safaricom. Would you think about it?
Thank you. Thank you. I think we take all the questions then. Sorry? He's made it clear? He needs to make it clear. The question is not very clear. Make it clear.
Okay, I'm targeting fraud management and detection. So let me say I have an invention like M-Pesa, and to get the levels of cybersecurity that to get the levels of security that Safaricom has reached at the moment, I can't without their resources. So I'm asking if I have this kind of invention or this proposal I have of a project I'm working on, would you be willing to listen to it without that? Because you said specifically that with online banking, fraud management is key. So would you be open to listen to such proposals?
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Can we have the next question, please? There was a... Yes. Please give a microphone to him. Then to Peter. Please say your name, then to whom you're directing the question, and ask the question.
My name is Kodhe, Kabarak University. My question is directed to the CEO, Lost and Found. I've seen your good idea, how you came up with, but I have one problem with it. For example, you have said you deal with the lost things that have been lost, you acquire them and return to the owner. How can you convince the society that you can't recruit goons to steal the things and you return the thing to the owners and the owner pays you.
Thank you. I think that's a very innovative question. All right.
Consider the question.
Thank you. Thank you. No, of course, yes. The question will be answered. Of course, we need to critique the innovation, isn't it? So that we are very clear all around about what exactly it is. Thank you. Then we have over here, Peter. Peter, I want you to stand up. Peter is a CEO, is a chief executive officer, a very good friend of mine, of an organization which is an NGO called Peter Uplift. He's doing a lot of welfare sort of work, gives a lot of support, pays school fees for some children, visits orphanages. So and the same, I think it's partly an NGO and partly a commercial enterprise. So the commercial enterprise supports the activities of the NGO. And he is a fourth-year student here. And when you look at him clearly, he looks like a CEO, doesn't he? Let him ask the question. I thought that background is important.
Good afternoon. Yes, my name is Peter. I'm a fourth-year student pursuing procurement and logistics management. My question is concerning my question, I'm directing it to Bwana CEO Boresha and the Skyline Sacco about if you have opened a company, then you apply for a contract, then you are given for the first time. Can you be funded? You have the LPO and all the necessary documents. Can you be funded if it's the first time? Because I found it very difficult when I applied for the first contract. I went to KCB and they told me you must have like 3 jobs or contracts that you have already done for us to fund you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's an interesting question. I saw a hand up there. Yes, 2 hands. Maybe we can answer those, then we go back to another round, isn't it, of questions? Yes.
Good afternoon. My question goes to Dr. Moses. I wanted him to expound more on the travel grants.
Travel, that must be your hobby. Thank you. Your name was?
Belinda.
Belinda, thank you. From which school?
School of Business and Economics.
Thank you so much. Yes, that last question now, then we can, there's a gentleman there. That guy you're standing next to.
The guy, he's asked the question that I wanted to ask about the contracts.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So we start with Madam Anne.
Thank you very much. I've had 2 questions that is directed to us. The first one is listening to proposals that are not because we asked for secure innovations. In the money business, most people tend to do a lot of fraud. That is why we insist on secure. However much you've said you might not match up with the most secure, we will be listening to those proposals, and also you'll be given some mentors to help you through, so that what is the best way that you can secure your innovations. Is my answer clear? Okay, the second one is funding of contracts. We are open to listen to you at any time. You can visit any of our branches. For example, your nearest branch here will be Nakuru. They will assess, and then they will guide you on the best way that we can do to assist you to run that contract that you've been awarded.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Anne. I think let's listen from the SACCOs.
Thank you. Maybe to add on that, there is this element of security, which has been a barrier to so many, especially youth in terms of taking loans, not only for the proposals or the ideas, but then any other loan. Assuming you are, in some cases, we also find degree holders and even those guys who are graduates riding motorbikes and doing border business. You know, those guys don't have security of any kind. And if they give us a proposal, we're able to listen and gauge the risk exposure. Then, together with where you come from, how you do this business, we can even have reference to where you are studying, schools and universities. If you have very good references, you know, there is what we call KYC, knowing your customer. So if we know you better, if we can know you better, and even consulting your church, and we get to know you better with very good proposals, I believe we can fund you. Yes? So let's not lose hope and lose our ideas along the way before sharing with good financiers like us. For the LPOs, equally the same. If we can know you better, and more so liaising with the institution you are rendering the service, we can actually fund you. We are calling it LPO funding or financing. So kindly come up, look for the LPOs, especially from the county governments and national governments. We will be able to fund you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. We can now listen to, let me power it for you. We can now listen to Mr. Karani from Lost and Found Document Center.
My friend asked whether if you are going to employ thugs to steal ID cards from people and bring them to us. It is quite tedious for somebody to go and steal an ID card and bring that document to us just for 200 shillings. Anybody who would employ thugs is also a thug. And at Lost and Found Document Center, we are all thugs. That's point number one. Point number two, I would want to say that anybody who does that, because if you look at our core values, trust and integrity are some of the core values that we are going to look at when we are employing our youth. And we are not going to employ foreigners or people who are known to that area. You see, like every sub-county will have some youth. So when we are employing, we employ those people who come from that area. Those are the people who know the chief's area, the police stations, and the schools around that area. So these are well-known people. They will not come to any neighbor, steal an ID or steal anything to bring that to us, because they are already known. So it is very unlikely that somebody goes to look for a document to steal so that the owner can go and pay. It is, I mean, that kind of a thief would advise him to go to a bank and rob a bank, but it is very unlikely that somebody can go steal a document so that the owner can pay for the same. That one is a bit difficult for people. But in case that happens, once again I say that we are employing very trustworthy people that we know from that same area that they are going to collect documents from. So I think your question is clearly answered. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Karan. Of course, I believe it's a registered entity in Kenya, isn't it? And probably before you are engaged, they will have to do a background check on you to ensure that you are a person of integrity, including obtaining of, what do you call a certificate of good conduct. I mean, So there are avenues to verify the background of, I think, people who would work for such a company. I am not a director at the company. Thank you. Dr. Moses Thiga.
Thank you. But before I address my question, just the question that was directed to Mr. Karani, I think the spirit of the question was, won't this encourage people to steal and deliver them to the Lost and Found Document Center? You know, an innovation has the capacity to grow another innovation, you know, or another industry. And and that's likely if you were able to address my question that I was going to pose to you. Do you offer rewards to those who bring lost documents? So if there are rewards to those who bring a lost document to the Lost and Found Center, you see, you encourage others now to start off another industry. If I know, if I deliver a title to Lost and Found, I get 1,000 bob. You know, I can actually arrange to steal a title and earn 1,000 bob, and the owner will pay 2,000 bob to get it back, and so on and so forth. So it's just a thought. I think that was the spirit of the question. Of course, it's not by your design, but in my opinion, innovations also have a spillover. They also have unexpected outcomes that we have not thought about, you know. That people start doing funny things. For example, when M-Pesa came up, people started withdrawing money in Mombasa when they're in Kisumu. And they have to think, no, this is not right. Something is funny here, you know, and etc. But well, just a thought. And then, of course, how do you identify the identity of the owner? So somebody comes and says, yeah, that phone is mine. You know, that's a big, I just thought about it when I was seated there. How do you actually know that this is the owner? Of course, if it's a phone, if it's an ID, you look at the face. But the items that don't have the face of the owner, just food for thought. Let me address myself to my question. Mine was just to, you can.
You will give me an opportunity to respond. Thank you.
I want to answer Dr. Ri's questions. One, the process of identifying the right owners. If a phone, for example, is brought to us, the first thing you do is that you need to ask your questions. What kind of a phone have you lost? That's point number one. You have to come with a receipt. You ask for a receipt and counter check whether it's the same phone. We will ask also ask you to put your PIN number. You see, those kind of questions are leading to the right owners. But in case we doubt you, we still give you time to go back. We need to do more research on whether ascertain whether you are the right owner of that phone. But those questions, I'm very sure we'll be able to lead to something, a receipt of the same phone, a PIN, and the type of a phone that you have. We can even ask you, maybe some phones have, maybe it is in a case, or those kind of questions. There are many questions that we need to ask to ascertain the right owner. For example, if a kid gets lost and a kid is brought to us, we do not just give you a kid because you have come and said, I'm the father or the mother. No. Bring the birth certificate. We know the chief, the area pastor, all those kind of people. And I'm sure all those cannot be able to lie whether that kid is yours or not. Maybe even the school, if it's a kid who is in primary school, we ask you to bring the results report form. All those kind of questions. We have a legal team. Finally, we have a legal team that is working on those eventualities. They know there are crooks and all over. And there's nothing that you can do on this earth that you will not be able to get some crooks somewhere who are trying to do one or two things. Even today we are being forwarded money at Safaricom by conmen. But they are telling you SMS this the conman's number to this number 333. So till today, and Safaricom is about how many 10 years old. So you see, as we are starting, but we have put very strict many measures to curb those kind of things that might arise. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That was my query. Now back to travel grants. A travel grant is mainly money given to you to attend conferences, workshops, or seminars. That's what is a travel grant. So how do you get a travel grant? You first have to have an acceptance. If it's for the conference you're going to present, you need to have an accepted paper, an acceptance letter, or alternatively if it's a seminar or workshop. The terms and conditions for travel grants depend on who is giving them. Some may tell you, I'll give you local travel grants, I'll give you a grant up to this amount, I'll give you grants for conferences of a certain caliber. So they'll have different terms and conditions. So a travel grant will essentially comprise of a number of things. It could be simply international flights. So they'll tell you, you probably need to get yourself to the airport and take care of your local transport on either side. Some travel grants may cover your local travel within the country, others outside the country. Some may include a stipend, some or an allowance. Some may even include accommodation, hotel accommodation during the conference. So, and some may even include travel insurance. Some may even cover costs of visa and other incidentals like vaccinations, etc. So a travel grant is something wonderful. It can comprise of many things, and all those depend on the person giving the money and their conditions. I hope that helps. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, our panelists, for responding to the questions. We do another round of questions, and I know Dr. Ruth alikuwa ananisaidia kupeana. All right.
Okay, let me ask my question. I was just going to be the person passing the microphone, but allow me to ask the question. And this question will be directed to both Mr. Mtei and Madam Anne from the SACCOs. I think the first question I'd like to ask is, I'm picking it from Peter. Is it Peter, the young CEO, on how much guarantee or warranty you would want once I get a contract or a tender and I want to come to you. And the question also I'll add to that is, what if I am in a group, what we call chamas? You know, we're in a chama, we want to invest as a group of young girls, maybe we went to campus together and we've been saving some little money somewhere in a bank, and we realize maybe the bank would not help us in terms of investments. We want to buy a big land somewhere, some apartment somewhere. Then we realize we could be having the opportunity. So what are this opportunity, but also can we transfer our money from the banks to your SACCO to get this investment? And of course the last one is in terms of group. What opportunities are there for groups like chamas and all these groups? Then I think the second question still to the SACCO, that also is directed to Madam Anne, the same question. What is a good investment in SACCO and how different is it in bank? And I know we are living in a world where people are buying government bonds, shares, people are buying money markets, some people prefer owning some apartment somewhere. With your interest rates, what would you tell us is some of the best investments with a SACCO account? And lastly, do I have to have my pay slip or my savings in your account for me to ask for a loan? Can I have my money directed, for instance, my pay slip to the bank and still get something from you guys, or have to direct my pay slip to your SACCO to get that money? Then the second part of the question will be directed to Mr. Karani. And I think I want to pick it from the young person who was asking the question about, what if somebody just picked my ID here and Dr. Thiga said, they know there's an award of 5,000 and decide, I'm not going to be the good Samaritan, I'm going to look for that 5,000 from you. As I speak today, I have a lost passport. I've lost my passport. It's been 1 year. I know somebody didn't pick it. Somebody didn't steal it from me, but it's in one of my handbags and I can't trace it, you know. But if I lost that document, what softwares do you have that I can put my document on soft copy and not hard copy, because I can imagine every time I lose this document, I have to go to renew. I think I lastly checked on immigration. To renew my passport is 12,000 currently. That's expensive. Government documents are expensive to replace. Is there a software or an app where I can come to you and say, let me create for your software, you put your title, dates, your passport, your ID, and if not, would that be an opportunity for you to start thinking in a world of technology? Then I think, let me just throw in, Mr. Mtei, one last question that I've remembered. What is the role of technology in SACCO as we speak? What has technology done for you in the SACCO world? Because I know we're living in a world of softwares, app, all that. Can I transact my money using a Boresha app on my phone or Skyline? Lastly, to Dr. Thiga, as a last question on grants, and I speak together with Dr. Oleho's echo that some of us have tried for the last 5 years and we've not gotten it. Some of us don't know how to try. We hear grant and we don't know what grant is, you know. Maybe you would tell us, what are some of those secret in quote or easy way of winning grants? For instance, let me say, I'm a young upcoming grant writer, but I know Dr. Thiga has won 10 grants. Can I tag myself to Dr. Thiga and become a research assistant or an editor? Can I tag along for you to mentor me on how to write grants to win? But also I know there's something most of us don't tell us, and I hope you will tell us, because grant writers don't tell us this. It's not enough to throw a grant to a company. There must be network, a database, there must be an experience behind, there must be networking on certain platforms or a proof that you've done this. Please just elaborate on that process away from the writing part. What is the behind the scenes dynamics of winning a grant? Thank you.
Thank you. That was deep. Thank you so much for the good questions, Dr. Yes. Other questions? Yeah. It's a lady from. Please say your name, where you've come from. I will have an opportunity to remember the institute now.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Anita Rotich from Eldama Ravine Technical and Vocational College.
Right.
It's abbreviated as TVC. I heard you, Doctor, is struggling with abbreviation, but now you know. Okay, I have two questions directed to Dr. Moses Thiga. Hope I got the name correctly. I must say that it has been a very informative session, and now we know on what to do, or rather how to get the grants. But my question would be, how do you know that there are grants out there to be given? I know someone would tell me you do research, someone would tell me you be on the lookout so that you can know. Someone can also tell me that you go to Mr. Google, who has all the answers, but probably there could be more to that. So I'd like to hear your comment on that. And then my second question, I was privileged to get your presentation in the morning, though I was a little bit late. I wasn't able to ask my question, and probably I can use this opportunity to ask the question. There's a student who asked whether he can get funding on their innovation. And you rightfully put it that there's funding available for the students, and you fund prototypes, not ideas. I don't know if you've thought of opening it up to probably the entire country or even Eastern African community. I'm saying that because I know of some organizations who have their international conferences yearly, and they have created something known as Innovation Awards, where they welcome students all over the Eastern Africa community to participate in the competitions, and they give them awards. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for those very good questions. Okay.
Hello everyone, my name is Agatha Tanui, and I would like to direct my question to Mr. Karani. I don't know if you are in if you have expanded your organization in many places, because this is my first time learning about such an organization. And if I can say, for me, I come from Elgeyo Marakwet County, and let me say I lost a baby, or my baby disappeared, and I want to trace my baby. How will I get to you guys so that you can help me? Because if you're in Nairobi County or maybe Nakuru County, it would be way too far for me to come to your place and report the matter. So I would like to know if you have offices in various places or something like that. Yeah.
Thank you. Do we have another question? All right, there's a question over there, and one at the top.
Good evening. My name is Alan Wafula Taylor. Yeah, I'm going to direct my question to Mr. Karani of Lost and Found. Okay, this is my question. Do you have a system that enable users of your services to check if their lost and if their lost items are in your possession? And if not, how effective is it? How efficient does that system work? And if no, can you pay for such a system that can help you that can help your users to know the things that you have in your possession for any part of the country, maybe like a mobile app or something?
Thank you. That guy must be from ICT, isn't it? He's seeing an opportunity in this lost and found thing. Yeah. There's a question at the top. At the top over there. Oh, yeah.
I'm Kodek, I said. I want to add up to Mr. Karani before asking Mr. Dhiga a question. Mr. Karani just see that kind of vulgarism and irregularities behind your company and organization. There is a strong point behind it, a very strong one. That idea of yours can grow globally. It is a good one. Even me, if I can have around 10 million, I can support you. But with one condition, no legalism and illegalities. Since that one will, at any single point, support illegalism. Hakuna venye utatuambia yezi, at any single point, ita support. You cannot confuse any investor at hiyo kitu support. Just think about it. I know it is very hard to think about it. My question is to Mr. Dhiga. I'm considered on how some people like me and my fellow colleagues think about a national-wide or a global-wide thing on an innovation. We find out it is very awkward to explain to somebody that me from a mere village in Laikipia, I want to do a thing that will help everyone globally. And who can I approach for the grants to support me? Some of us, like in the other day, I was thinking about in my research proposal, I told the lecturer that I make a DBMS to enable the whole country, considering on the field I was. The lecturer told me, you couldn't do it. I told him, bear with me, utakuja kuona. Just to unipe tu information, nani naeza approach? Nani?
Thank you. The guy you're talking to is the right guy. I'm telling you, I mean. Yeah. Takujibu hivyo. One last question, I think.
Okay. My name is Gideon.
This is the last question for this round. I think we'll come back for just 3, then we can finish the panel because of time. Okay? Yeah.
Okay, my name is Gideon. So I have a question. I'm a student at Kabarak. My question goes to Dr. Moses. So in your presentation, you mentioned that grant proposal may be rejected because of maybe the financial institution may not like your team. but according to you, the team members that you have selected suits you. So in a scenario whereby your grants have been rejected because of your team, so which is the best criteria that you can use to select an effective team that will be accepted by the financial institution?
Okay, we get responses. Thank you.
I don't know where I should start, but let me start with my friend here. I would want to tell him that we are innovators, and Wakora Para India, they're also inventing other means of getting gas from us. So anything that comes along will be handled at that particular time, because you also be gaining experience. They'll be directing us to something. If for example, you have brought a title deed, maybe you give you a credit of 200 shillings. Safaricom credit of 200 shillings. So I don't think it will be very possible for you to go and steal a title deed for us to give you a credit of 200 shillings. We are not giving cash. We are giving incentives. As a credit of 200 shillings or 500 shillings. So at times it might be very difficult for somebody. It is very costly for somebody to go and steal a title deed for only 200 shillings. I think I've somehow answered your question. Madam up there said that, sorry for losing a kid, we have not rolled out this concept to every part of the country, but that's what we intend to do. We'll be coming to every county, every sub-county. We are going to roll it out in 295 sub-counties. We are currently looking for governors to partner with us so that they can be able to finance this concept, so that we can do marketing and have offices in every sub-county. So we are not yet there. These are the basics. We are at the basics of this whole concept. So maybe by the time we get there, which is quite soon, I know, we'll be able to advertise and know where we can get ROS documents, and also kids will be able to contact the owners of those skins that will have been recovered by then. I think your question is also answered. There's a lady here who asked about the software. Again, we are not yet there, but that has given us a big challenge, and that's a high opener. We are also going to think about that. How can we be able to make use of software to store ROS documents and those that you want us to keep for you. But what you are saying is that we also have strong rooms to keep your documents. If you have a title deed, don't keep it at home. Just come and register the same with us. We keep it for you safely. When you require it, come, we give you. And I'm sure it will be safe in our hands because we have registered everything, and it will be safe with us. Those are 3 questions. I don't know what the other one was.
Yeah, there were 3 questions.
There were 3?
Yeah, there were 3 questions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Karani. I also know that, like Dr. Thiga said, every innovation creates an opportunity for other people to become innovative, to try and go around it. So I believe the kind of questions that are being directed at Mr. Karani is just, opening his eyes to go and strengthen the security features of their innovation. I believe so. Because including M-Pesa is being hacked, people are stealing money. When you get a software today, tomorrow somebody will get a virus to hit it, and somebody else will get an antivirus. So, innovations are like that. But of course I know this is eye-opening. Thank you so much. Madam Anne. Was there any question for? Yes, there was.
Okay, thank you very much. The first question was about funding of contracts, which I answered that we do, and up to which extent that we fund these contracts. It depends on the cost of the contract, And there are so many factors that we look into. Who are you doing the job for is one of the things. County governments, of course, will be more secure than individual. So it depends on the kind of contract that you're going to do. The second question was about CHAMA and group savings that you're transferring from another financial institution to our SACCO. Yes, it is allowed. And we also have products for CHAMAs and groups that if you visit any of our branches, you will be able to be guided on what to do and what investments are the best to do for the specific CHAMA that you have. And also it depends with your CHAMA, what do you really want to do? So you come up with the idea, then we will be able to assist you to develop that idea to a reality. The other thing was differences between bank and SACCOs. First of all, it was about the interest rates. Secondly is SACCO is a savings and credit that you save, and then we give you a credit. We don't grant. We give you a credit, and then the other thing is you earn dividends from your savings. Not necessarily you must buy shares from the SACCO. You are needed to buy shares. Yes, you are advised to buy shares, but also from your own savings you will earn a dividends at the end of the year. The issue of if you need maybe loan from us, you can either direct your salary through Boresha SACCO if you're employed, or if you're not employed, we can do a check-off from your payslip. Then your employer does remittances to the specific SACCO that, like Boresha SACCO, that you have preferred to join. I think I've answered all your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anne. Yes, Mr. Keme.
Thank you very much. First, I want to appreciate everyone who has asked a question, because if we were seated here without any question, then it means we did not meet you. So the first one is on funding the contracts. Depending on the company that you are doing the contract for, either county, national government, or any other, we gauge the risk. And based on that, we will work on the percentage that we are going to fund you. The maximum we can do is 80%. So you need to look for the right contracts for the right funding. Secondly, is on group products. Skyline, we have a good model for groups. And first, you form a group. Of course, you have to register through the social services or any other registration body. Then, depending on your goal, you open an account as a group account, then also as individuals within the group. So that on daily or weekly or after fortnight or monthly, you do savings as an individual in a group. Because the group will act as an umbrella body, but within the group we have several members. So you can be a group of women, can be a group of youth who are doing legal businesses, and you start doing savings. After 4 weeks, you are able to qualify for a credit product, whereby there are two options. We can fund a member in a group, and we can give you up to 5 times of whatever you have saved. Then when the first group starts repaying the first installment, the second, a third of the members qualifies for a loan. And when the second, a third of the members starts repaying the first installment, then they give way to the last, a third of the members. So that is one option of funding group members within a group. And the other option is whereby the members are having one project, assuming buying land and having a business of subdividing and selling. Yeah, you can do savings as a group, and we can manage that kind of savings until you qualify to be given a loan to buy a property. We have assisted several groups. Some have acquired land and divided amongst themselves, and they are paying well. So it's a very good group, especially it's a very good product, especially for the hustlers, the youth. You can start from there, because I believe as you go outside there, you are able to make even 200 shillings a day or 300, and make a savings of 100 shillings or even 50 bob per day. By so doing, you create a way for you to access credit in Skyline. The issue to do with investments, apart from T-bonds and T-bills from banks and the central bank, SACCOs is a very good avenue for investment. In SACCOs, we have FDA or fixed deposit accounts. If you have a good amount, we can negotiate on how much you can earn from there. And the maximum we can give you, if you give us a good amount with a good period to stay with it, we can give you up to even 11% or 12%, which you cannot get anywhere. You cannot get anywhere. So, if you bring those funds, we can manage for you very well, and you get good returns. And in addition, I want to say that the regulated SACCOs are very good for investments because your money is safe. Even if you bring 50 million, 100 million, we're able to manage your funds very well. Just relax at home, and you are going to earn a very good return at the end of the period. We also have BD savings account. BD savings is whereby if you are planning to go for an holiday, you start saving from day one, depending on your sources of income. So you can plan to save for a whole year, then you go for an holiday. And this one, apart from saving your money, you will earn a very good return of at least 8 to 10%, despite of us keeping the funds for you. If you have a child, we have an account called Benda Junior account. That is a good account for your investment, because we can only allow you to withdraw 3 IC in a year. And from that account, there is a very good interest rate you are drawing from there. The normal ones are shares, which is having a preferential rate from the institution. And we can give you a return of up to 15%, depending on how the business did the whole year. So there are so many avenues. When you visit us, we actually assess your financial strength and advise you accordingly on how you can make more funds from your investment. On the role of technology in SACCOs, I think technology, we're embracing technology simply because we want to have convenience in customer service. And giving an example, in Skyline SACCO, through automation, we have come up with a debit card called a VAF, Skyline VAF debit card, whereby we've partnered with InterSwitch so that you can have an hybrid debit card to use. So the beauty is, we have tried to utilize the resources that the banks have done with all the ATMs, namely resources done by KCB. So with any KCB ATM machine, you can do a transaction. So now you can imagine Skyline SACCO account transacting across over 1,000 ATMs in this country. Where can't you get a service for Skyline Sacco? You can get it everywhere. If you are in Mombasa, if you are in diaspora, you can reach your account with very ease. We also have a product called AutoPay, whereby we can have institutions process their maybe salaries or their casual laborers pay at their comforts, especially at their offices. So if a laborer wants you to pay them using their mobile phone, or an account in KCB, or an account in Equity Bank, or any account from any bank, we can give you that software at your offices, and then you process your salaries with a lot of comfort. It debits your account in Equity, in Skyline Sacco, and credits whoever's account as your laborer with a lot of ease. So that is embracing technology. And we've gone far with that because anyone can open an account from anywhere without actually having to visit our offices. So the other one is on mobile banking. We have PayBill and USSD. So if you have an account in Skyline, you can deposit from your M-Pesa, you can transfer funds from your M-Pesa to your account in Skyline using PayBill 116-519, and then you just put your ID number. Your cash will be credited to your account directly. If you want it to go to the investment account within your main account in Skyline, we can add you some more codes. So that is our training, which is very simple, and we can assist you to do that with a lot of ease. We also have the USSD one. You use *879#, and then you have a menu, a huge menu that you can select what you want or what kind of a service you need from Skyline. Then we also have mobile loans. We have mobile loans. So for these, if you are processing your salaries through Skyline Sacco account, we can enable you have or apply for credit, short-term credit called mobile loans. And that depends on your net pay at the end of every month. So we will, with this tool for appraisal, and you can get that service. So we're even enhancing this so that when you are in a group, a formal group, you are able to borrow short-term loans from Skyline using your mobile. So we are going to do some vetting within the group members and allow you to a certain tune of credit facility. So we have a lot of services through these innovations. The other one is funding for ideas. I think someone asked that question. Yeah, so I can say for this, there are two areas we can do. One is whereby you want us to give you credit to start up a business or to kick up with an idea. So that one will go to the credit way. But then there is the one you are saying, people want to initiate something like this, initiative on innovation, among other things. We can support you in kind. So if you approach us and we see that this idea of yours touches so many people positively or changing people's life, we can support you in kind. So we have a CSR voted, and we even support the needy students in that line. We support chamas If they give us good business and we see there are good ideas, they need to be supported. So we do it through the CSR. So with banks and SACCOs, I believe we cannot compare, because with SACCOs you own as a member. You own the SACCO, and you have all what it takes to bring in your contribution and change the livelihood of people. But with banks, everyone owns it through shareholding. So you don't have enough shares in banks, then you earn less, and you have very low contribution to that. Sinivyo? Yeah, so join the SACCO, and the SACCO is where you should be for you to change your lives. Asanteni sana, and welcome to Skyline. Opening an account is with no cost. So you only provide your ID card and present yourself, and there you will have an account. We will not charge you anything when you are entering Skyline SACCO as a member. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for being very extensive. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We listen now to Dr. Moses Tiga.
Okay, thank you. So I'll take the questions on how do you get grants? You know, it's a journey. Again, it always begins with an idea that is worth funding. But let me go more straight to that. It's a process too, because you may not necessarily just come out of nowhere and suddenly start getting them. Sometimes it does. I was not mentored, as it were, into the art. It started off with a need, an idea. Then I got a small grant and built on the smaller one, and they keep coming. So I have a portfolio that when I apply, anybody who has money now says, okay, this one can be trusted. But how do you exactly get started? As you correctly said it, you can work as a research assistant in a project. That helps. I'm actually mentoring a number of my research assistants in a number of projects on how to write grants. So we work on the projects I have grants for, and with time I involve them in writing as co-investigators, and they grow into the art. You can get collaborators who are more experienced. Once in a while I get drawn into teams that are writing, and I offer mentorship, and we co-write to help them build that capacity. So you also learn to leverage on what you have. You have a skill. Even if it's not money that you have earned before, there's something that you need to leverage on from your own profile in order to get a grant. I'm just being brief because there isn't a direct way to do it, but I'm happy you mentioned the issue of research assistants, which I want to just call mentorship. How do you know where grant opportunities are? Please don't discount Google. I do actually Google with a very specific title and a search, grants for X, and they come up. Sometimes you get them from grant databases. We don't have a subscription to one, but there are some. I get them from networks. People who know what I do, and when they come across an opportunity, they'll tell me, Moses, I think you need to look at this. You need to subscribe to mailing lists. If you find an organization is offering grants, subscribe to their newsletters and their updates, and they'll keep you posted. So there are many ways to get to know about grants. Those are just a few of them. With regards to opening up the Kabarak University Innovation Fund to the whole country, that would be a nice idea. I think we would like to get there. I would not say no. It's only pegged on availability of resources. So we have limited resources, so we do what we can, but that's a good idea. Should we get more grants, and even as we continue with the Central Rift Innovation Week as a program, hopefully, we should be able to mobilize funding to be able to extend to innovators. That's part of our plans. So in 2023, we, on the very least, will be looking for some funding to offer a few awards for innovators to grow their ideas. So watch this space, that's likely to come up. How do we sell ideas for grants, you know? So somebody told you can't do that, that's impossible. There's two ways, they could be right or they could be wrong. But it's really up to you. Do you actually believe you can? Do you have the skill? Do you have the capacity? Do you have the time? Are you realistic on your timelines, on your expectations? If you are, then yes. If you are not, then it's actually a no. There are things you can't achieve in certain ways. So it really depends how you package your innovative ideas, for them to appear realistic and practical. I think I mentioned that. Give realistic ambitions, timelines, budgets, scope. Look at yourself, your abilities, the team you have, etc. Do your homework. Yeah? Appear to be knowledgeable about what you're saying. Do you actually know what it takes to develop a database management system like Oracle or MySQL or Postgre? You know, do you really know? You know? If you don't, then we tell you correctly you can't. But if you do, then why not? How do you get a good team? I was having a discussion yesterday about teams. And very interestingly, teams can make or break, but why would you need a team in the first place? Why would you need a collaborator? Because a team is just two people, one, you and self, and one more person. It is because you in yourself don't have all the abilities you need to succeed in many things in this life. You know, at this point in time, probably you can even move around yourself fine, you can breathe. But at some point, you need someone to help even walk when you age. So there are very few things in life that you can do alone. And especially not research these days. You can't do research alone. Research has grown to a stage where it must be multidisciplinary, it must be collaborative. So yes, when you talk about a team, you are right on track. You must get a team. So what is the right team? A team will be right in terms of the skill sets represented on that team. What do you need in terms of skills? Do you need IT? Do you need education? Do you need psychologists? Do you need people who know how to do field work? Do you need people in finance? The skill set is one dimension to look at it. The other one that was a very interesting one I was sharing yesterday is that you need team members with your kind of temperament, with people who see life like you do. And I gave a good example of if you're a choleric like I am, you find it almost impossible to work with a sanguine. I hope you know about temperaments, don't you? So a choleric is driven. Their joy is in results. And they push and push and push and they get things done. A sanguine takes life easy. Every day is a Sunday. We can always do this tomorrow. We can always do it another time. I mean, life is not that serious. Now, if you put a choleric and a sanguine together and expect them to beat a deadline for tonight, midnight, you can tell they'll not be working very well, isn't it? The sanguine will tell you, really, we can always write another grant. The choleric is saying, we must submit it tonight at midnight. So that team will not work. Think about the temperaments of the people you want to work with. Think about values. You need to get a team of people who share the same values with you. Why are values important? There are people who find no problem in cutting corners, in paying bribes, in lying. If you do have a problem with that, you're not likely to work with somebody for whom lying is a second nature, for whom bribing is a second nature, cutting corners and forging receipts. If that's not your thing, you can't work with such people. So values are important. You know, work ethic is also important. You need to find people with your similar work ethic. How much value do they place on excellence, on timeliness, on order? You know, how much value do they place on that? If you are mismatched, then you probably will not work well with them. So team composition, not just in grants or innovations, but in many things in life. Trust me, marriage is a team. You don't want to be mismatched also, isn't it? So in any kind of team you're going to work with, you want to think about the person you're going to work with. Do they even share the same goals that you have? Or have they reached the pinnacle of their ambition? And yet you think you're starting, and you start off with somebody who has finished everything they could ever do in life. So you've got to think critically about your team, because if it's not right, then you're not going anywhere. So why will a financial institution reject you on the basis of your team? If they detect especially a mismatch in terms of the skill sets that they expect on that team. They may not go as far as values, a work ethic, and etc., but look at the skill sets they need. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, team, for wonderful responses. Wonderful responses. I am wondering if somebody can become a choleric if they are naturally sanguine. Yeah. Maybe we can stop there. Is there another question because of time? I know these 2 questions, just 2 or 3, you know, a max of 3, so that we finish now. I know our honorable guests are tired now. But I have a question myself, just one question to the SACCOs. Sometimes we evaluate innovation grant applications, and quite a bit of time you would come across innovations that are geared towards making service delivery in institutions like SACCOs more efficient. We have had such applications, we have had such proposals. My question is, in the event that as a university or as an evaluation team for such proposals, we come across such a good proposal, and we know its value propositions be quite good for a SACCO setup, can we approach you to co-fund such an innovation? Then you tailor-make it to improve service delivery for your institution. Do you have such a program? Can such a thing work for you? Thank you. Yes.
Okay, thank you. My name is Japheth Omari, and I have a question again to Mr. Karani, the one for Lost and Found Foundation. And my question is, I was thinking of a scenario where I've lost my academic certificates back in the village, perhaps where I come from, and I've reported to one of your offices, and you're supposed to be maybe tracing them. And so my curiosity was, which criteria do you guys use to trace down these papers and maybe get them back to your offices? And do you go announcing to the public to get volunteers to bring these papers to you? And if not, then what intelligence do you guys use to make sure that the privacy of these documents are protected and the data they are in is or remain safe? That is. So I just want to understand which criteria do you guys use to chase down these papers?
Thank you. One more question, just one, then we can stop there, if there is. Yes, there's one up there. That will be our last question for today because of time.
Thank you so much. My name is David Maina from Kabarak University. My question goes to Dr. Dhiga. I've been applying for quite some times the travel grants. And in those applications, there is the common area they normally ask, whether in the conference or the workshop, whether one will be presenting a paper or a poster. So maybe you kindly can guide us. What is the secret towards that? Thank you.
Thank you. There's a gentleman at the back there. Maybe his question would change a life. Please, lady and gentlemen, maybe that's just that one. That's the last one. Please, we don't want another hand.
My name is Brian, and I'm asking Anne and the CEO of the SACCOs, what is the bare minimum with a person with no wage income? Like, what is the bare minimum that I require to get a loan from a SACCO? Because you're talking about people with pay slips. Nobody here as a student. Okay, some are lucky to be having them pay slips, but not everybody is that lucky. Others will go out there with no income. So kindly elaborate the bare minimum that I'm required to get a loan from you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. The first one you asked, for the bare minimum, it depends on what you do. We fund businesses also. It's not necessarily that you must be having a pay slip. Some people have border businesses and they are sending their daily contributions, their daily savings that they get. It depends with the kind of business that you're doing, that you're able to come and listen to you and know what you're going to do. Because when you're getting a loan, you must pay this loan with an interest. Are you able to pay it? That is the basic question that we'll first ask. And then we look at, is your business viable enough to fund it and be able to pay that loan within the specified period of time? The second, the first question was about if the proposals that you get, some of them are very good for SACCOs. Yes, our doors are open. You can come, present to us. We have a team. Also, our ICT team can incorporate some of those proposals that you have into either to the current system so that you can be more effective and improve the service delivery of to the members.
Thank you so much. Let's hear.
Thank you. I just want to add on these proposals for value proposition ideas to the SACCO. So there are two ways here. We normally have internally drawn ideas. That is from our own human resource. So for that case, we normally reward them heavily. If you come up with an idea, if you are an employee for Skyline, we really reward you heavily so that you can think even better and give us great ideas. Because by so doing, that is the only way we can change the business in this world. Secondly, we also encourage outsiders, including partners like you, to come up with ideas. And for sure, if it works out, be sure you are going to get something from there. So we encourage you to come up with it and challenge us on how we do things. And for sure, that can be a source of income to you. The other issue is on minimum contribution from the youth and others. I want to say that there is nothing that comes I mean, you cannot have anything if you cannot do anything. So please, jitume, yeah, let's work up and do and work. You can do business, you can do manual work, so long as you get paid. And hakuna siku yenye unasema pesa ni mingi ama ni kidogo. Yeah, that much you get is enough. It's only how you are disciplined to utilize it and to plan for it. So kindly, if you are not doing anything, jitume. Now you save as much as you can, even as low as 50 bob per week or per day, just 50 bob. Nani ataweza hiyo jamani? 50 bob. And then you form a group, co-guarantee yourselves, and you move on. Yeah? Have we mentioned anything to do with security? Nowhere. And you can start small. You can start small. Nunua kuku na use kwa barabara. Yeah? Sivyo? Na baada ya kuku unanunua nini? Mbuzi. Baada ya mbuzi unanunua ng'ombe. And you move on. So, jitume, and for sure, the gates are open for you. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, sir, for those very good remarks. If you cannot have anything, if you cannot do anything. I think that's a quote for our next edition of the Kabarak News later. Dr. Ruth, you cannot have anything if you can't do anything. Thank you. And you know the order. Mr. Karani.
Thank you. The issue of safety of the document, I can guarantee you that we'll have men and women of beyond reproach to take care of your documents. And I would want to advise you to contract us to trace your documents. Besides documents that are found, brought to us, we also have that service to trace documents For example, you come to us and tell us, I left Nairobi, I went by middle lift, Nissan to this point and that point, and your work ends there. We are able to go to those areas, and most likely that your document is lost between Nairobi and the far end that you went. We'll be able to trace that document within that area. And let me say that we have a website. Maybe you can pass by our tent, and a mobile app to check the documents that they've reported, the lost documents that they've reported to us. And a friend of mine here wanted to know whether we have a search. We have a mobile app and a website that can be able to communicate. It is interactive. We can be able to communicate to our clients. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We listen from Dr. Thiga, and that will be the end of this panel.
Okay, thank you. I wish to confirm that we are referring to travel grants, not tourism grants. So the grant is given for a specific purpose. So you can't get a travel grant just to tour the world and go to New York and, see the Empire State Building and things like that. No. That's why they ask you, do you have a poster you're presenting or a paper you're presenting? Because that's the reason they're financing you. That you have something you're going to present, but you don't have the money to travel. So you must have, as a bare minimum, absolute essential, an accepted paper or poster presentation or abstract presentation for that conference. Or you're a speaker, there must be something you're going to do. That's why they ask for it. Maybe we have another discussion on what's a paper, what's a poster. But that is the reason for the travel grant. You must have it. Otherwise, we could all apply for travel grants, quote unquote, and just go anywhere and do sightseeing and come back. That's not the purpose of a travel grant. Maybe another kind. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Thiga. Thank you, Mr. Allen. Dr. Thiga is the Director of Research, Innovation and Outreach, Kabarak University. Thank you so much, Mr. Allen, the Chief Executive Officer, Skyline Sacco, who happens to be a very big partner during this event. Thank you so much, Mr. Karani, the Director at Lost and Found Documents Center. And thank you so much, Madam Anne from Boresha Sacco, a great partner during this event. We are grateful to your support. Thank you so much for responding very ably to the questions raised. I would like to now kindly and humbly ask you to take your seats. Can we give a round of applause, please? We have now coming to the end of the second day of the first edition of the Central Rift Innovation Week that is hosted by Kabarak University in collaboration with a number of partners. I think you have been able to see quite a number of them at the tents just outside this venue. I would like to invite all of us that after we say the last prayer for this evening, that you kindly come outside and just take a walk. Just have a look, ask a question across the tent so that you get to see the products and services that are being offered by our partners who have come here. We have very interesting products and services that are being exhibited out there. So this is day 2. Like I said initially, please let's tweet, let us say something using hashtag CRIW and hashtag KabarakUni on Twitter and on Facebook. Just tweet and send messages. Tell people about the interesting conversations we have had in this place, because I think they have been extremely enriching. We come here tomorrow, and tomorrow is the biggest day. Tomorrow is the biggest day. We will be officially launching the first edition of the Central Rift Innovation Week. So tomorrow we're going to have everyone here. Tomorrow we're going to have everyone here. Who is who, the person you're thinking about will be right here with us tomorrow. So you actually do not want to miss out. We request you to make your way here by 8 a.m. You know, there's something about us Africans. Of course, I know it's not all Africans, because we're all Africans, but it's not all of us do that we are not very good at keeping time. But we can prove people wrong, because there's so many good things that African people are doing and have been able to do. I know we can also do better when it comes to keeping time. I invite us to make our way here at as early as 8 a.m. and be very deliberate. Do not wait to be coerced, don't wait to be talked to. Just come here and take a seat comfortably and listen to people who have the knowledge, share the knowledge with us. I believe that's a good thing. All right? So students, please talk to your colleagues. My fellow lecturers, please speak to your students and speak to your colleagues so that we all hear. Our partners who have come, we would like to have you inside the hall. I think let's have one person manning the tents so that the rest of us are here engaging in these discussions. I think it will be more enriching if all of us can be here to get to know about each other. Something that's very important that you don't want to forget, please ensure that you network. Ensure that you get to know somebody that you didn't know. So don't just hang out with your usual guy or your usual hang out with somebody new to you. Ask them about what they do. Tell them about what you do. Share your card. So that at least you grow your network, isn't it? Somebody said your network is your net worth. So the guys you hang around with are definitely going to determine your net worth. And I've already spotted here the kind of people I'm going to start hanging around with beginning now. Otherwise, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for making time to sit in here, to listen, to ask the question, to participate. We appreciate you. This is our inaugural event. We look to be doing this kind of event every year. So we are setting a foundation, and we want to set the standard well high. At this point, I now want to request a volunteer to kindly come over and give us a closing prayer. I repeat again, tomorrow is the main day, so all of us will be here. Tomorrow is the main day, so all of us should be deliberately here. Any volunteer, please? Any volunteer to this prayer I am talking about? So if you're a volunteer, can somebody volunteer to pray? We're talking about networks. Yes. Dr. Ruth is coming. I'm talking about networks, and you must be keen to have God in your network. If you don't have God in your network, then the other network may not work out so well. Thank you, Dr. Ruth.
I hope the CEOs are seeing me. I'm trying to create networks. Tafadhali, naitwa Dr. Ruth Owino. So nikikuja kuomba pesa, you're my net worth, yeah? Madam Anne, I'm worth it. Yeah. Thank you. As Dr. Leho has said, just to emphasize, tomorrow we look up to you guys. We'd love to have you around. From my media team, we encourage you to follow Kabarak University Twitter account, Kabarak University Facebook, subscribe to Kabarak University official page on YouTube, follow the discussions of the event on hashtag CRIW2022, hashtag Central Rift Innovation Week. Please take a selfie, tag us along. We would gladly retweet it. Okay? All right, let's just stand on our feet for the last prayer. Let's pray. Father in heaven, we come before you this evening. We want to thank you for your mercies throughout this day. We thank you for the discussions we've had this day, and we just want to ask that we may not sit on them, but implement them and be ambassadors of the message that we have heard today. We want to present our guests who arrived this day to share with us their knowledge, their expertise, and their networks. that we may all grow and expand our territories. We ask that even as you bless us as Kabarak, may you bless our partners, may you bless our sponsors. May our wings grow stronger as Central Rift Innovation Week, that as we begin this journey in 2022, may we inspire and grow to see it better and bigger come next year. What a blessing to gather together as a community of Kabarak, but as a community of innovators, that we have listened to ideas, we have listened to the knowledge, we have listened to big things that our minds may never imagine. So we ask of thee that give us power to go out, to be brand ambassadors of Central Rift Innovation, that we may create that which you have asked of us in Genesis, that as we create, then our world will be better, that we lift our corners of the world because you have asked us to do so. We thank you for this day, and we ask that even as you dismiss us with your love. Bless our journeys, but also bless all the families represented here. And we pray that even as we go to rest, may you give us rest, and we may meet here tomorrow for a brand new day, refreshed and energized. This we ask of thee, that even bless Kabarak University, and bless it bigger and better. In Jesus' name we pray.
Thank you, Dr. Ruth, for the prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you well as we disperse to go and rest for the night. We welcome you back in tomorrow. Please keep time. Please tag a friend along, Mr. Nyakundi. I know Mr. Nyakundi wants to say something. Mr. Nyakundi, please come over and say something in Kiswahili. Mr. Nyakundi is a student doing a Bachelor of Education